I feel like there's respecting a character and appreciating their greatness, and then there's the action of just completely gobbling their meat. As an anime fan, I'm sure you know by now, there's characters who endlessly get glazed, both by the fandom and within their show. And can't lie, it can come off crazy, especially when it's overdone. But to me, what's even worse is it being done for someone who doesn't even deserve it. Now, this may ruffle a few feathers, because I know a lot of people just don't like it being done at all, but sometimes all the glaze a character receives is very much deserved. So today, we're gonna look at a few characters who absolutely deserve all the glaze they get. With that said, let's get into it. So I've actually already spoken on some characters who I personally feel don't deserve to be glazed, so this vid sort of goes hand in hand with that one. But this time around, I picked a few characters who I deem worthy, and at the same time, we're gonna also scale just how much they deserved it. No funny shit, I'm just now peeping. Some of these guys were getting MC treatment and they're not even the MC. You'll see what I mean though. But getting right into our first one, we got Lawliet from Death Note. Now, L is one of those characters where his presence is very much needed in the show. Like without him, they're for sure cooked. And we see this in those 6 years after L died. Light was really free to run rampant, and although L didn't leave mad notes behind, him zoning in so much on Light beforehand, Death helped Nier and Mello do the same, which eventually led to Light finally being beat. But not gonna lie, one thing that pissed me off was with even how respected L's name was, best detective in the world, mind you. Actually, that. He's quite literally top 3 and actually all 3, since you know he's actually the 2nd and 3rd best detective as well. The task force knows this, but still had the nerve to keep doubting son. I get Light is the chief's son, and some of L's tactics probably seemed extreme, but there was no other leads at that point. Oh, actually there was, but oh look, someone directly tied to Light. I don't know man, if the world's best detective is on this guy's ass, I just think it's wise to pipe down a bit. Oh, and then we got the other times they gave pushback too. Like it even got to the point they had to start working separately. But you know what? Even though I think they fucked up doing that, fine, let's let it go. But once Light got L up on out of there, I don't know how no one thought it was sus. They no longer had any actual leads. For the next 6 years, they had to be scared or something, because no way. Y'all trusted so heavily in a man L didn't even trust for real. And he showed this. And I know, the fake rules, but fuck the fake rule for a second. You're telling me y'all remember him suggesting Light as the new L, but not how it was explained to be a test or how aware he was of him? It really took Nier putting them on. Like nah, don't start side-eyeing and looking at Light like that now. L told y'all. But I digress. All that pushback is why I feel like while L did receive plenty of glaze from the world, I don't like how much some people, especially the task force, were doubting him. He def deserved more glazing for what he was pulling behind the scenes. No one else was on Light's ass the way he was. The same way Nier's word was bond to his team and everyone around, that's how the task force needed to be moving with L. And I know in my other vid, I made the point that Light and Lelouch are closer in brilliance than a lot of people try to make it seem. But in my opinion, L def trumps them both. So there you go. Next up, we got Sosuke Aizen, or better yet, Lord Aizen, Daddy Aizen. If you know me, you already know how I feel about Aizen, so I'm gonna try to keep this to a minimum. But the two things that get gassed up the most about him are 1, him just being so tough, same man who stopped Ichigo's theme, mind you, and 2 would be his top tier planning. Like he basically wrote the plot to Bleach, so looking at everything he was doing, the glaze for him is for sure deserved, and the characters around definitely seem to think so too. Like I don't know who was worse. You got Momo still calling him Captain Aizen after being poked not once but twice. There's Kaname feeling so offended on Aizen's behalf that he was cutting people's limbs off without command. There's the Espadas not just calling him Lord Aizen, but really their behavior in general. Gin always gassing him up, and even though he was fake with it, that's not taken away from the constant, oh, that wouldn't work on Captain Aizen, in that annoying voice. Also in anime, there's such a thing called indirect or unintentional glaze. So when someone, let's use the visors as example, when someone like Shinji who hates Aizen but is constantly bringing up his stats, or even when Yuha Baha went to see Aizen and was basically like, look, you're strong, I'm strong, similar goals, we might as well link up. That's still glazing. Keep in mind, Yuha is the type where he's not gonna be doing tricks on it like everyone else, but he's gonna keep it chill, very casual. Shirsama and Ichigo are the only ones rivaling the glaze Aizen gets throughout the series. But as for who deserves it the most, to me it's Aizen. So, on the meter, I'd say it belongs right up here. Next up, we got Levi Ackerman from Attack on Titan, or as they call him, humanity's strongest soldier. And his name is fitting, cause just like I was saying with L, same goes for Levi with being a key component for them not getting cooked. I mean, they do still get cooked, don't get me wrong, but there's a lot of times where it could have been a lot worse. Like, niggas just feel safer if Levi's in the area. That tells you everything you need to know. But there's two scenes that I'll never forget when it comes to Levi. The first one is the scene where Zeke felt that first slice and had a flashback to Reiner and Bertolt warning him about this man. I guess he didn't take it to heart though, and we saw what happened next. The second scene would be similar, but where the jaw titan now was on 10 and was just about to eat Eren, just to get a slice through the jaw and immediately go, wait, is that Ackerman? Then after the scouts start doing him in, he's gonna be like, can't they see I'm a titan? That's aura, bro. All I'm saying is niggas knew about Levi before he even touched down over there, as they should. Now, did he lose aura for me for something that happened later in the season? Yeah, and trust, we'll discuss that in the next vid. But does he deserve the glaze he gets throughout the series? Oh, for sure. Both Ackerman show every time why they're a problem. As for the Glaze Meter though, I put it around here. Next up, we got Frieren, or as some may call her, Frieren the Slayer, or even the Legendary Mage. And like I said on the other vid, in my opinion, someone like Kakashi is overrated. So when people used to pull up and be like, Kakashi of the Sharingan? Or the Copy Ninja? And then he would proceed to not perform, it never sat right with me. The fuck are we really calling you this for? Frieren, on the other hand, they're pulling up and asking, are you Frieren the Slayer? And they're finding out exactly why she has that name. No cap in her rap whatsoever. I also appreciate the fact that from the beginning, we know Frieren is goated. But as the show continues, we slowly but surely see just how famous, but also strong she really is. And it's like, you know she had to be tough if she was in the group that defeated the Demon King. But then again, she could have been one of those people who don't pull all their weight for real, but still end up with the same grade as everyone else on the group project. So yeah, I do like that they actually show us just how cold she was and still is. And I know you peeped during the test's second phase how her clone was the final boss and no one wanted any parts of that. They was like, yeah, let her take her out. Anime wise, not once did she taken out. Like even her protege, Frieren, is nothing to play with, which is why she firmly believes one day Frieren will pass her out in fame, and probably in strength too, cause she knows she taught her well. And that goes to show not only is she herself goated, but she's also a top tier master as well, which as we know by now, one does not equate to the other. Yeah, I don't know if it's because she's so relatable, but I love me some Frieren. She's chill, prioritizes sleep, and goated? What's not to love? But overall, when it comes to glazing, I'd say it's pretty high on the deserved, so right about here. Next up, we got Sakamoto, known as the legendary hitman and the strongest hitman. And just like Frieren, this is another case of everyone knowing his name due to just how cold he is, or was, because he did fall off a bit in power and definitely in the looks department. So I know what you may be thinking, is all the glaze still deserved then? Listen, I don't know what happens later in the manga, but right now I would say yeah. Even with as big as he is now and how big of a fall off he had, he's still the main one putting in work. And 9 times out of 10 when it's a villain that's too strong, he's the one pulling up to finish the job. Plus, besides all that, everyone is just too worried about him to the point where you just gotta think like, damn, just how goated was he? Cause Son just wants to run his store and be a family man, but apparently that's too much to ask for. The JJA has a whole hit on him. We see how bad his old crew still wants him, and then he even got Shin over here tracking him down and feeding to become his protege. Oh, and speaking of Shin, I get Shin looks up to him, duh, that's his master, but usually when characters need to think about something before unlocking some type of power up, they think of their own peoples, not about another man's family. That's when I knew the glazing was just a little much. And I know someone is gonna be like, well, Lindo, he doesn't have his own family. But bro, it's not like the villain even bothered to say his family. He straight up said Sakamoto's. I don't know, man. I just rather his power up revolve around maybe his new friends and master. Or shit, even trying to impress those old scientists that pulled up, but not another man's family. I'm sorry. So on the Glaze Meter, he's right about here. We got Son Goku, aka Kakarot, aka Earth Savior. I don't know, he doesn't really have another cool nickname like everyone else, but that's because he's really the OG when it comes to characters getting massively glazed, both within the show and definitely by the fandom. Goku has a lot of fanboys. Like, there's normal glaze MCs get, and then there's Goku level glaze. There's plenty of reasons for it, but I say it all started from when niggas used to be shaking, holding the villains off, just until Goku would pull up and make his entrance. Like, Krillin could be getting whooped, and it will be like, yeah, well, wait until Goku gets here. Yeah, the same with Kid Gohan. Why my dad is gonna whoop all y'all. Shit, even Vegeta was gassing Goku up so much on Namek, he got offed for it. But besides Goku just always ready to get in the fields, being Earth's savior, and really just that nigga, one scene I think about when it comes to all the glaze this man receives gotta be during the Tournament of Power, when all the gods stood to their feet after Goku mastered UI. Bro, cause keep in mind, they were doing all that for a man they didn't even like. Cause I don't remember them showing it as much in the anime, but manga wise, even though we later find out Zeno was gonna erase some universes anyways, originally all the gods were pissed at Goku for even bringing the tournament idea up to Zeno. And since Beerus is responsible for Goku, plus the other gods already didn't like him much, he low-key had to catch that fade. And to this day, I wish they animated that. It seemed like he was spanking shit. But yeah, going from not being so fond of the guy to standing on your feet and awe, and really cause you just have no choice but to respect the ill shit he just did, was crazy to see, but very deserved in my opinion. Overall, I think Goku receives the right amount of glaze in the series, so I would raise the meter right here. But when it comes to his fans, it can get crazy. Like to this day, during power scaling and debates for shit that don't even got nothing to do with him, people really will pull the can he beat Goku line unprovoked. I don't know, I find it funny, other people not so much. Now Itachi has a little bit of a different case going on, because when it comes to who gets glazed the most by the fandom, Itachi is up there along with Gojo and Goku. A few years back, you couldn't escape the Itachi solos comments, but me personally, there's a certain word I like to use when it comes to Itachi, but as much as I dislike what he did, I can't ignore his skill. He's definitely one of the few prodigies in Naruto who actually showcased it from start to finish. Graduated ninja school and had Kage intellect by 7, joined the Anbu by 11, became Anbu captain at 12 or 13, and it doesn't stop there. While with the Akatsuki, we don't ever see or hear about him taking any L's or even coming close to it. The only two things people like to bring up is him retreating from Jiraiya, which I personally think he just wasn't trying to cause a scene, and the other would be how he handled the Uchiha coup situation, especially with the so easily trusting Obito part. And with that, I definitely agree. I don't care what anyone says, that was crazy to do. This sus man pops up saying he's Madara Uchiha, and you don't want to fact check that? Or shit, even if you think Hiruzen won't do something about it, which is fair, he could have at least attempted to alert him about the random man lurking around. And I know people like to bring up his age or whatever with that, but I don't know, man. No matter the age, I always thought it seemed a little out of character for him, especially with how smart Itachi is shown to said and be. Because besides everyone who thought he just lost his mind, his intelligence and what type of ninja he actually was is always brought up. But yeah, besides that whole debacle, I can't really say there's any point in the series that really made me question his abilities or stats, unlike others. Like, even after death, he was still doing shit. We saw what happened to Kabuto. Now, fan-wise, I will say it can get carried away. Just like Goku, people think he could be anybody, even when they know deep down it doesn't make sense. Also, besides him being glazed skill-wise, I said it before, but I'll say it again. Due to how much aura he has, Itachi be getting away with murder, literally. Like, straight passes in the community. He does not get enough flack for the offing his clan thing. And I know it's true because other characters who have done similar don't be getting the same treatment. But then again, I can't really blame people because even though the characters themselves in Naruto aren't glazing him as much as they do with other characters, the show itself does a very good job of doing it through actions. So of course fans are going to resonate with seeing that. So looking at everything, the Glaze Meter stops right around here. Satoru Gojo, aka the strongest, aka the honored one. And let me tell y'all right now, when it comes to who simply received the most glaze within their show, Gojo is for sure up there, along with Goku and maybe Itachi. But the main reason why I say his is deserved is because no funny shit, watching JJK, every time something is being explained, it always ties back to him somehow. Like even with the system itself, Gojo's existence alone brings balance into the world. Like the world wouldn't even function the same if he's not around, which is partly why villains wanted to seal him, not kill him. Well, that and because it'll be way too hard to. But then on top of that, you got the narrator glazing him just as much as the people within the show. Like damn, this is really prime example of how fuzzy it can get on who's really the MC in certain shows. Too much was revolving around the nigga. On the Glaze Meter though, he's definitely up here. But as I said for Levi, next vid I am gonna have to get into his not so flattering moments too, because can't lie, there's one that he did make me look at him a bit different. So yes, while he is massively important to the show, there is a couple moments where I just can't shake the feeling of damn, that shouldn't have been able to go down like that. But yeah, from all the characters we discussed, the most glazed is definitely between Goku, Gojo, and I want to say Itachi, but I'm low-key gonna switch him out with Frieren. Well, maybe Itachi for fan-wise, and then Frieren within the respective shows. But as for the most deserved, I don't know. I'm leaning towards Goku or Frieren. I think I would need to see a little more from Frieren next season to solidify anything. But what do y'all think? Do you think I was right about all these characters deserving the glaze they received? Oh, and who would you say deserved it the most? Definitely let me know in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'm gonna leave y'all with this.
And he is known to be the strongest sorcerer to ever exist. Behind Satoru Gojo, of course.
Known to have the strongest punch in sorcery. Behind Satoru Gojo, of course. Wipe your mouth when you're done. That's why you don't make it out of this fight. Known to be the strongest swordsman ever. In sorcery ever. Ever. Behind Satoru Gojo, of course.
What? He don't even use swords?
Man, hold up. But you won't fight him, though. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, get back in position. Straight.